Let us continue the mesh analysis with current sources. That is case number 2 and case number 3. So in the mesh analysis we have done one video, that is mesh analysis part 1, which includes introduction to the mesh analysis and mesh analysis with all voltage sources only. So now we are going to see if mesh contains current source. If mesh contains current source, then what will be the equations when we apply the KVL? What will be the equations and how to analyze? In this slide, you are having two circuits. These two circuits gives you an idea of two cases. Just see, just observe carefully what will be the difference between the left side figure and right side figure. Just take 1 minute. Let us learn the mesh analysis to the planar circuit that contain current source. Are you observed? Yes. So whatever the observation you have done, that is correct. So in this circuit we are having, in this mesh you are having one current source. In the previous video we have seen here a voltage source. By having the voltage source, how to analyze the circuit. So with compared to the previous video, here we are having a current source. That is the difference. And one more difference. And the difference between these two circuits. Here you are having a current source in a mesh in independent branch. In the independent branch you are having, or in uncommon branch you are having a current source. This is not a common branch between your mesh 1 and mesh 2. This is not a common branch. So this is only the common branch. So this is the case where the current source is present in uncommon branch, in not. But while coming to this circuit, here there is a current source in a branch which is common to two meshes. So we are going to see the analysis of a mesh if it contains a current source in uncommon branch, a current source in common branch. By having a current source in a mesh, which makes the analysis of a circuit easy. So always try to expect a question which is having a current source. If it is having a current source, the mesh analysis, the 50% of the work is done with the current source only. How? Let us see the case 1, that is of current source exists in arm of a mesh. In mesh, that is of in the second mesh. So here the calculation, it makes this case makes the calculation easier as the current source itself gives the value of the current flowing in the mesh. So have you understood the statement that current source itself gives the value of the current which is flowing in that mesh? It means that this current source gives the value of the current which is flowing in the mesh. So what is the current flowing in the mesh? That is I2. It means that this 5 amps current gives the information about your I2. So what is the purpose of that knowing this I2? Because the main intention of mesh analysis is used to find the currents. But this having the current source in the mesh, it gives the value of the current which is flowing in the mesh. So if it is giving the value of the current, what is the need to apply KVL to that mesh? No need of. So hence the current I2 becomes -5. Why the current I2 becomes -5? This I2 is nothing but current flowing in the mesh. This I2 is nothing but current flowing in this second mesh. Current flowing in this second mesh. This I2 is nothing but this 5 amps. but it depends upon the direction. This small I2 and 5 amps are in opposite direction. So by having a current source, it gives directly the current value. So already we got minus 5 amps. So either you need to find the current I2 value by applying KVL. No need of. Already the current source itself, it is giving the value of mesh current. So I2 we got 5 amps. So that is the feasibility of having a current source in a mesh. And how to find I1? Here we need to apply, it requires the KVL because we don't have any current source. It is having a voltage. So by applying KVL to this circuit, this I1 is pointing to this negative terminal of the voltage source. So here we have to write 10 into I1. 10 into I1 plus 4 into I1, because 4 ohms is, it is a uncommon branch. So whatever the mesh current that flows through this uncommon branch, that is called as 4 I1 plus 6 into I1 minus I2. Here we are writing with respect to I1, that is our mesh 1. So I1 minus I2 we have to write. If you write with respect to second mesh, then we have to write I2 minus I1, which is equal to 0. But already we know I2 value. What is I2 value? Minus 5 ampere. So sorry, this is not 10 I, this is only 10, minus 10. This is only minus 10. So minus 10 plus 4I1 plus 6I1, which is equal to 10I1. Next, minus 6I2 plus into minus 6I2, that is minus 6 into I2. What is I2? Minus 5. So minus of minus, this is your minus 5, which is equal to 0. So minus of minus becomes plus. So minus 10 plus 10I1 plus 10I1 plus 30 plus 30, which is equal to 0. Plus 30 minus 10 plus 20, 10I1 equal to minus 20. From that 20 by 10 equal to, by doing that is of from 20 by 10, you will get your I1 value. So that is the way to find I1 when which is having a current source. Let us see the second concept is, case 2 is when it is having a current source between the two meshes. If a current source is present between the meshes, then that mesh is said to be a super mesh. So now we are going to see super mesh concept. Remember, when a mesh is said to be super mesh, if there is a independent or dependent current source present between the two meshes, we apply super mesh concept to solve the circuit. So what we have to do in the super mesh, whether we need to apply any different formulas? No. The super mesh also makes it to solve the problem easy. So we create a super mesh by how to create a super mesh. The super mesh is created by removing. This is here in this circuit we are having a current source here, common to first mesh and second mesh. This is your first mesh and this is your second mesh. So do we have any uncommon current source? No, we have a common current source between the two meshes. So if this case is present, then it is called as super mesh concept or super mesh. So for applying a super mesh, we need to exclude this branch, where in which branch we are having a current source, that branch should be eliminated, and after removing that branch we have to apply KVL. But before excluding, we need to specify this I1 and I2. We have to specify this I1 and I2. So after removing this common branch, and we have to remove the that is of element which is connected to in series with it. So in this, the common branch is, this is your common branch, and in this common branch we are having a current source, and in series we are having a one more element, that is your resistor. So in super mesh analysis, we have to exclude the total branch itself. By excluding this total branch, the 6 amp is eliminated and 2 amps is also eliminated. So after removing this branch, the circuit looks like this. Now we have to apply KVL. So by applying KVL, so this is actually this 20 volts is, it is related to first mesh. So we have to take with respect to I1, that is minus 20 plus. Now this 6 ohms is related to first mesh or second mesh? First mesh only. So the first mesh current is I1. So here we have to write 6 into I1. Next we have two more resistors, 10 ohms. This 10 ohms is related to first mesh or second mesh. We need to observe. This is related to second mesh. So how much amount of current flows? This I2 current only flows through this 10 ohms. And it flows to the 10 ohms and it reaches to 4 ohms. So same amount of current flows through 10 ohms and 4 ohms. Now write here 10 into I2 or I1? I2, because the 10 ohms is related to second mesh, and 4 ohms. For 4 ohms, you have to write 4 into I2. Over. So no need of applying in super mesh. We have to apply for two meshes. We have to apply single KVL, which is equal to 0. So we have applied. We have done half of the work. That is minus 20, 6 I1, 10 I2, 4 I2 becomes 10 I2. Then what we have to do is, here we have to apply, it requires KCL. So let us take, so here it is I1 current. Here it is I1 current, because of it is related to mesh 1. So it flows like this. So in this branch, how much amount of current present? I1. Next, here it is I2, this current. So this current is nothing but, this is your I2. This is your I2. Now apply KCL at this point. Apply KCL at this point. The 6 amps current is towards the node. That is of entering the node. I1 is entering the node. I2 is leaving the node. So by applying KCL, here you will get I2 is equal to that is of, this is entering and this one also entering. So I2 equal to I1 plus 6. I1 plus 6. Substitute in a place of I2, I1 plus 6, you will get I1 value. After getting I1 value, just substitute here. Then you will get your I2 value. So this is the way of finding mesh currents in when it is having a current source in uncommon branch, and when it is having a common branch in the between the two meshes. So this is the way to find, this is the way to analyze a mesh, that is of super mesh. So minus 20, 6 I1, 10 I2, 4 I2, which is equal to 6 I1, 14 I2 equal to 20. Then I2 equal to, applying KCL, already we have seen, to the bottom, you can apply to the bottom node or to the top node, you will get same equation, I2 equal to I1 plus 6. So we can easily solve about two equations to obtain I1 and I2. The super mesh requires the application of both KVL and KCL. Remember this point. Super mesh requires the application of KVL and KCL. It requires KCL. So in the next class we'll see. So in this PDF I have included some numerical analysis problems also. Just try to do that problems, and in discussion section, in doubt session, we'll see some more problems, and so whatever the problems included in this video. Thank you. Just go through 1 or 2 times and try to write the same equations in your notebook without seeing these equations. Okay, we'll see in the next class. Thank you.